You too, please, wait. Thank you for saving me, benefactors. And I'm sorry you had to witness all that. So you've experienced it yourself, but I've...
Becoming what I mean to say.
My mom... I've...
That's a hefty battleship there.
Make your brain feel brand new.
We're here! I'm sorry. Here, this thing...
Let me try.
Oh!
No.
Whoa! But, well, don't force...
To make your brain feel brand new. Celestial Jade.
You know, there are a lot of mung bean soda moments in life. If you...
I know.
Why?
Have you heard if the child... That's right. Mom reached for this late. I'm proud.
I can imagine.
I used to... I remember...
Parents...
But... It's Mom's secretary, Miss Sequay. Miss Sequay...
And start...
Is it really okay?
Indeed.
The fight with the abominations was...
Do you... This is you... So...
Come on, are you kidding? It's a trinket, remember? You think my mom would carry this with her?
It's a beautiful... A Devastator glaive? Is this from the battle? There were a lot of Cloud Knights.
No. This is only a replica. A bird cage. Huh. That reminds me. Have you guys heard of the birds that live in the Everhunt Plains? They have beautiful feathers, but you can't domesticate them. They don't live long if you lock them in a cage. Makes sense. How could a bird that's known the sky live in a cage? Mom always carries this trinket around with her. Is this?
It must be... if...
What my mom...
Well...
General G...
We can't help...
Mr. Yang, and you.
It's not.
You call this you call the natural. If you wish. Did Qingni tell? If I were to you, she. Yes, the legend. Both. It's hard to. Oh, this is a divine object from the rain.
This sheath.
This I'm sure 30. We were great at the rate. Such Yukong.
I don't have any of.
I do. However, perhaps it is.
Thank you, Jim.
Mr.
Let's go.
You're Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Did Helmmaster...
In the end,
Yes.
so
I...
uh,
Do you... Oh,
we can use this one.
Miss Ching...
It should be.
No,
Is it really that big? Come on, let's read it together.
What is the meaning of this? What do you have in your hands? How dare you read, Madam?
Mr. Yang Min, please, calm.
I see. Qingni,
I want to.
No, this isn't something I should read. She won't. Just ask. Miss Tsai, her husband, but when it came, it was Tsai's death. Nonsense. In the end,
Where are thanks for.
you're welcome. I suppose you're going to go through. I can under. Please don't. Hurry, madam.
My mom keeps. That's the selling. Got it. So, don't let. Is this? For mom, I feel. Yes.
You're all done? Did it go? I see. We're here to...
When mom feels down, she usually goes to take in a view of the Jade Gate. She should still be there. Mom?
Qingni, why are
Miss Qingni kindly agreed to.
Thank you.
Mom.
All right, it's getting late.
Actually, I want to talk to you. I want to become a fighter pilot.
We've talked about this.
Seems like Miss Qing.
I thought Mr. Yang said we... Jingni's birth mother, Zai Yi, was Yukong's lifelong friend. Still, it doesn't seem like something...
Is that... I understand now. You don't expect to gain your forgiveness.
Mom, what are you talking about?
Just like you, I once longed for the sky. I know what it feels like to fly through infinite space, to be surrounded by the vast expanse of nothingness, with unimaginable splendors looming in the distance, to float like a single leaf in the fathomless stellar sea. Some called it loneliness, but we called it freedom. Sai was like that too. We were friends since childhood. We flew star skiffs everywhere, causing trouble until the knights caught us and dragged us before General Jingyuan. We soon became the most elite fighter pilots of the Skyfaring Commission. It wasn't an easy life. You could even say it was a cruel one. You never knew if the friend next to you would make it back alive. Of course, the same could be said of yourself. But those are my best memories. We would strike out into the sky, repelling demons and upholding justice. The blood we shed bore witness to it all. The life of a Foxian is short and fleeting. Surely we should dedicate ourselves to such glorious aims. System space all clear today. Great weather for flying.
We're engaging the main Borison fleet this time. Don't get too excited.
Huh? Sounds like maternity leave knocked the wind out of your sails. Feeling rusty?
Oh, shut it. I think you're just excited because you haven't flown with me for so long. Did you miss me?
Of course I missed you. The galaxy felt smaller without you in my cockpit. Say, Sai, really didn't think you'd come back. Do you really like flying star skiffs that much?
You bet. Sure, it's exhausting, dangerous, low paid. Plus, you only get back to the Luofu a few times a year. But given the choice, I'd always pick this. I guess I already touched the sky.
The mind is mysterious. I've lived for more than 200 years. Forgotten nearly every conversation I've ever had. But I still remember us shooting the breeze that day. It's crystal clear. It was the last time I spoke to Sai. Sai? Hold on, Sai. Sai, open your eyes. Sai?
Thank you. You go. I've had a good life. But please, don't let Qingni walk the same path. Don't let her become a fighter pilot.
Sai, she's your daughter. You'll be able to tell her yourself, do you hear? The rescue's almost here. Stay with me. Jingni is waiting for you. She lost Guang Yan. She can't afford to lose you too. Wake up! Sai! Sai! climbed out of the burning carcass of the star skiff, I looked up into a clear sky, pure and seemingly unadorned by the atmosphere that arced far above us. It was the most beautiful sky I had ever seen. But all I could feel was unbearable pain. I sunk to the ground and gazed up helplessly. In my dream, that was the day I died.
Mom, this is the first time I've heard you talk about this. But I'm not a little girl anymore. The road of a fighter pilot is a cruel one. I know that now. But I won't hide from it. I'm not afraid to walk the same road as her. If my sacrifice can bring happiness to the citizens of the Cienjo, then I'm ready for it.
You are so very similar to Tsai. The more outstanding you became over the years, the more fearful I turned. I've known for a long time you were ready, but I was not. You know, the cruelty has never claimed victory. Me, Sai, your father Guangyan, we were prepared for the worst when we enlisted. But do you know how we won that war? The war that took away Sai and the lives of hundreds of thousands of fighters.
The Rainbow Arbiter's divine arrow.
Yes. The mighty blessing of the Rainbow Arbiter annihilated all abominations in a single strike. We had to pay with the blood of hundreds of thousands of soldiers just to halt their advance. If crushing our enemies was as easy as breathing for the Rainbow Arbiter, then what purpose did our sacrifices serve? Under the might of an Eon, the sacrifices of ordinary creatures are but a joke. We are nothing. We mean nothing.
Mom.
But I never should have allowed my fears to compel me to make decisions for another person. Even if that person is my daughter, I brazenly interfered with your choices. I am sorry. That is my failure as a mother.
Mom, you don't need to apologize. Really, you don't need to.
I'll take you to fill in the paperwork tomorrow. You'll start as ground crew, just like Tsai and I did. I believe that one day, you'll make an outstanding fighter pilot.
Huh? Really? Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was afraid of you following in my footsteps, and more afraid of you taking after Tsai. But if this is your choice, then I'm willing to support you, even if you live to regret it.
Mom, I have one last request.
Tell me.
I want to fly with you at least once.
I'm afraid I can't. I won't be flying anymore.
But why?
Because I already touched the sky.
Take caution. Some people may try to blend in and
There you are. I was looking around before. Forget it. Actually, besides, so... don't make excuses for her. Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you. Let's walk and talk. Insha told me there's tasty food in Arum Alley. Let's go there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge.
A table for two, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well,
It.
oh, don't worry. There are two of us.
Well, then I'll start making it.
Thank you. Well, to be more precise, I'm interested in your sword. Yanqing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated, and that your weapon has a unique shape. So, I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use. Seriously? A bat? Yeah, now more than ever. So, it really is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also said that a weapon mimics its master. So, your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know? Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising. Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, rules are made to be broken. I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down. Swords are more honest than words. It's much easier to judge a sword than to judge someone's words, but just looking at a sword is not enough.
Miss Yoon Lee, for talented but for people like her who have already made significant contributions to the CN. It has been a while, Miss.
And you?
I suppose busy people have short memories. Please let me introduce myself. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear... Yes, with the war dance approaching, Mr. Pavo's planet...
Miss Shikwe, the word...
I apologize for my poor General Huayan plans to... Since you two were talking so enthusiastically...
Let's head to the Palace of Ash. I know, right? Grandpa always asks that. Now that we're in...
A short respite, then time for the next fight.
There you are.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your well, if it isn't my dear...
I mean...
I am our... May I have the honor... What a beaut... Oh, your...
manner.
Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin, and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kifesa to the Xianzhou Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Xianzhou Laofu Mieka Kifesa, it's a fitting name for us. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Gu Yin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu.
Wait.
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its... I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Laofu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Laofu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations.
Thank you, General.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No!
Yun Li!
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is...
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now! I'll melt away the remnants of that...
Don't be rude, Yun Li. Apologize to our esteemed...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword.
Yun Li. This is exactly why I didn't want Yun Li to know about it. Could you, please, keep an eye on... That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for...
Unless I'm mistaken, Yun Li should be around here somewhere.
That's a hefty battleship there.
Maintenance is also an important part of the job.
I signed up for a crash course in swordsmanship.
Stop watching me and say something. If you want, I can make you cry too. Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did. Really? Thank you. Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect... Grandpa sent you here. Have you heard of cursed swords? You've clearly heard a lot of folk tales. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. I'm not joking around. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to... It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's... Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword. I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus. There was a lunatic. I know. I shouldn't have caused a scene at the... By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the artisan ship? Looks like they're not going to show up here. It doesn't matter. I'll track down. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword? The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago.
No idea who...
Yeah, she was...
She was in a...
She's...
Wait, why did you give her direction?
Where else?
Yeah.
Good quality.
All together!
Fire the blade! Like a shadow!
I could take 10 of you! Yeah!
Yeah, it's over already. Fast enough for you.
What are you doing here? Look. Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Fight changes with changelessness! There's no time to lose! You cannot hide! Darkness charm!
Nice job! Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less carbs! What's this?
Darkness charm!
Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable! Never hesitate!
That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded. But if you want to stop, you probably think... No, really. Seems like you've met a lot. Look. I already told you about Guya. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And I rarely mention his name for some reason. Honestly, I didn't catch all the swords crafted by the Flamewheel Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Flame Wheel Forge shouting, "Run away, Yun Li!" And the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop. And I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship. Han Guang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Flame Wheel Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them. And Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword. So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble? No. No matter. Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now? No way. At least not today. Somehow, after talking to you, well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa. Yeah. Anyway.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum.
My home planet made its fortune tonight.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young lady? Sorry for all this trouble. Yun Li told you quite a bit. Han Guang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Flame Wheel Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Ju-Ming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So, by infusing Heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the Heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguan's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons for taking back their kingdoms, to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Flame Wheel Forge. Yun Li managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day. Yes, despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords, and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds. I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after? Gu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Han Guang. Very few swordsmiths could use Heliobi as forging material, and Han Guang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost. I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved. Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you? I'll be counting on you then.
Time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
My home planet made its fortune through the mining industry.
All right, everyone is here.
Yoon Lee, I'm sure you understand.
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
Now is not the time to use your reputation like that. If we don't recover the sword...
Yes. It's my
After everything, the sword still got stolen.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, first, during the sword-gifting ceremony, Yoon Lee openly expressed her The Realm Keeping Commission inspected Hey! It's just a theft. The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing. But none of the other swords in the room were touched.
Yeah, I don't think it was stolen.
Exactly. So, besides the ceremony... So... Then stop joking around.
I can prove that she came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so she couldn't have stolen the sword.
Put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword. So...
I didn't stick...
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible... If you want to prove me wrong...
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yoon Lee clear her name. Did we miss any clues?
I don't want to make things difficult for if I can find that curve. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword, but leave the case behind? I mean...
Who could have thought that the Miek... Regardless, That's enough, young lady. The first master of the monarchs would heed the god. What is, The point is that the Miek...
If you've found it... All right.
So, the thief took the sword. Why is this flower petal inside?
Yun Li says, but I know well you were with Yun Li yesterday. No, she was. After the ceremony, I'm counting on you.
Yes, I responded when I went back. However, wait, no.
If you found any clues,
Thank you.
100% sure. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yun Li.
Your statement isn't quite accurate. Argenti, the delegation members, and even me, we were all at the Artisanship Commission at some point.
True. But they all left after delivering the sword. And the craftsman overseeing the handover confirmed that they couldn't have left with the sword. We looked into it as well. Before Gu Yun was handed over, the side crane at the entrance of the Artisanship Commission captured you leaving. But there's no record of Miss Yun Li leaving.
Why would I dare leave through the main entrance after smashing the aromatons?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who... Miss Yun Li caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Gu Yun. But you stopped her in her tracks.
What Dahao said seems right. Exactly. So at least Yun Li didn't steal the sword at that time, because we were at the aromaton warehouse.
If your testimony is reliable. I'm not implying anything. Miss Yun Li caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Gu Yun. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended to leave, but snuck in.
After Yun Li and I went our separate ways, I messaged Master Gong Shu and much later, Master Gong Shu told me the sword was confirmed safe. So up until that, can I...
After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole.
After Yun Li and I went our... And much later, Master Gong Shu... Can I...
After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended... Wait, you messaged Master Gong Shu? However, it only... After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Gu Yun.
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li...
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li...
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li...
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended to leave, but snuck...
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell, we haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Looks like you're missing some crew...
There are no signs of the arsenal being broken into, so...
No. The fact that there are no signs of a break-in, which piece of evidence should I use to convince...
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I carefully examined the lock of the sword case, and there were no signs of tampering or damage.
What does that mean?
As to why the case was never locked in the first place, only the people who delivered it to the Artisanship Commission would know. Plus, I found something else inside the case. Which piece of evidence should I use?
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I found this.
A rose petal?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever...
My thoughts are a mess. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword could have done that. And the rose petal was probably... But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission?
I know. Gu Yun flew out of the case on its own. The Night of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a cage?
You've never seen...
I've only heard about the Mieka Kifesa being able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Night of Beauty...
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword. Maybe he was under its control even before you arrived on the Lofu.
Official Daho, where can we find...
Let's go.
A short respite, then time for the next fight.
He says you can't change it no matter how hard you try.
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Knight of Beauty. You're the one who stole Guyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, the real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon. Please allow me to correct your statement. I never attempted to steal this weapon. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty and possess only what is necessary.
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsmen, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Whatever your reasons are, you're planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me!
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me. So I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword. That's what makes cursed swords so scary.
Captivated? No! I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette. As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti, challenge you. I swear on the spirit of chivalry, in front of Adrilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyun in this duel. If I win, you will allow Master Guyun to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yunli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyun over to you. Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords. Show me what you've got. You're not going to use Guyun to fight for victory?
Well, I know a thing or two about swordplay. In a proper duel like this, a knight should rely on the skills he's honed day and night.
You're a real weirdo.
Claws got dull.
Never hesitate!
Naughty child. That's better.
You're the best. Yeah!
That won't do. I venture forth to hunt. Forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Confess! Put forth all your might.
I'm okay. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
You're the best. Awesome! Time to show you Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. Watch this!
Flesh! Charge! Rise! Let shine!
That's better.
Time to you cannot hide! Charge!
The fearless knows not fear.
Charge!
I venture forth forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Bear witness.
Never hesitate! That won't do.
Oh, I get it!
Behold, this symbol of pure. Let the duel commence.
I am the blade, like a shadow.
Nap time.
Confess! Put forth all your might.
The fearless knows not fear. Too slow.
Time to show you what I can. Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. Watch this!
I venture forth to hunt. Forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
That's better.
You're fighting
Thank
against.
you. Stay
Just a
safe.
little something. Think nothing of it.
You're the
Put
best!
forth all your might.
Show me what you can do. I'll give you 5 seconds. Never hesitate! That won't do.
Awesome! I could take
I am the shadow. There's no time to lose. Time to you cannot hide. Charge to the challenge.
You're the best!
Let the duel commence.
Ready to shine!
Fangs and claws got dull. The fearless knows not fear. Too slow. That won't do. I venture forth to forever. Triumph! Victory is inevitable!
Oh, I get it!
Confess! Put forth all your might.
That was sweet!
Show me what you can do. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Time to show Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. Watch this!
I've lost. According to the rules of a knight's duel, I should keep my promise and hand over the sword to you. But before I do that, I hope that you, as the winner, might have the mercy and listen to Master Guyon's past experiences.
This sword has been cursed since the day it was forged. Place it in front of me, and let me destroy it.
Do what she says, knight.
But
You've done so much for me already. It's time for me to face her alone. I'm weary of fighting. I just want to share my past with you. To explain why I wanted to escape. After that, I'll leave my destiny in your hands. Are you afraid to witness my past, little girl?
Afraid? Well, you do have a different aura from other cursed swords. But you're just trying to use my curiosity to lure me in.
Well, you know best that a single touch won't snatch away anyone's sanity.
Fine. Show me your past.
It's already impossible to contact the main Cloud Knight forces. What awaits me will be a long and lonely war.
Follow me.
Is this your memory?
It's so cold here. I didn't feel it when I was in the thick of battle, but now it's freezing me to the bone. You're indeed a masterpiece from the Xianzhou Juming. If you hadn't taken control of my body, I probably would have been decapitated in that fight.
Quiet, and stay alert. Boris and Wolf Troopers never give up the hunt.
Hey, just relax a bit. It's been over 300 days since we were both stranded on this planet. The transmitter never rings, so I guess we can't count on that anymore. The people on this planet still use beasts to pull their carts. Obviously, there's no way they can help us fix the star skiff. Looks like we're stranded on this forsaken planet for the rest of our lives.
The rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. Are you feeling any desperation? All by yourself in this hostile world?
Yeah, a bit. Perhaps.
When things get too rough for you to handle, just leave everything to me. No need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. If I really can't handle things anymore, I'll leave my body to you. But now is not that time.
Do you really think you can oppose an entire Borisan army with your limited skills? What are you holding out for?
It's true that I'm stranded here, but it seems like that Borisan pack is in the same boat. By the way, Guyan, do you know what a seed is? A seed may seem insignificant, but with careful cultivation and time, it can grow into a huge, unwavering tree. You said that the rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. You're right. That's why I intend to plant a seed named Resistance here, and nurture it for the rest of my life. I want to show the people of this land how to defend themselves against those monsters. I can already see the seed in the eyes of those people.
You really think you can do it? Why not just give me control, and we can revel in the bloodbath together?
What was the memory I just saw?
It was a memory of me and a Cloud Knight, stranded on an unfamiliar planet. We crash-landed on a planet occupied by Borisan. Just the two of us.
I can feel that it was a lonely war.
I'm alive, but all the young people in the village...
They died. They died for you. They died because of your big promises. Promising them a life free from the Borisin. I tasted their despair before death. They didn't see it coming. And neither will you.
We can't stay here. Let's move on to the next village.
Why? What's the point? You and your sorry excuse for an army have been fighting for over 3 decades, and you haven't won a single battle. What you're sowing is not resistance, but despair. This world is hopeless. It's completely infested with packs of Borisin. You've seen their numbers, and you know their methods. And those commoners you've put your hopes in, they just kneel down and worship the monsters devouring their children and families, calling them their Beastmasters. You beheaded one of the Beastmasters for their sake, but they turned on you because they were scared of the Borisin taking revenge. You remember all that, right?
I do. I remember my first death. The Borisin cut off my head. But I also remember that if it weren't for a brave youngster who risked his neck to reattach my head and give me a proper burial, I would have disappeared completely. I remember everything the people did for me. They left food at the entrance of my cave, fixed my fur coat, and some even joined my resistance. The rest of the Xianzhou native's life is still terribly long. And there will be new youngsters who will stand beside me in battle. Time is on our side.
You said it was a lonely war. No. It wasn't a war filled with loneliness, but with despair. So much despair that I don't want to ever taste it again.
I'm leaving.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I'm returning to my homeland. A distant place beyond the sky. I'm not coming back.
But what should we do with you gone? What if those wolf demons show up again?
They won't, my child. You've wiped out the last of them. But before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. Even though the wolf demons are gone, new monsters will appear in this world. Soon, a demon will appear, donning golden branches and knowing only bloodshed. However, fear not, my children. I'm entrusting you with this sword that's been with me in countless battles. Use the skills I've taught you over the years, and you'll surely defeat that last demon. But that's not all. I need you to construct a stone monument for me. It must be large and sturdy enough to seal the remains of that demon forever. This is a debt you owe me, and you must fulfill it. Do you understand?
You lied to them. And you lied to me, too.
Oh?
You promised that you'd give your body to me when you couldn't handle things anymore.
Well, this Xianzhou native's life has finally come to an end, my old friend. How about one last chance for revenge? Come and bid me farewell for the final time.
He had long since come to some understanding. I could sense a mix of intricate emotions flowing out. It wasn't bloodlust, or anger, or fear. What he had left for you was hope.
They've learned how to fight monsters. But there's still one last monster lingering in the world. Kill it, my old friend. He left me there without ever looking back.
Thank you, my old friend. Heliobi can taste human emotions. How do my emotions taste? My old friend.
A hint of bitter compassion. And a touch of scalding courage. Your heart's deepest desire is to end war once and for all. Now, the war is finally over. Can you hear? Even though you can't hear me anymore, my old friend, I'll do everything I can to bring an end to all conflicts in this world.
So, this is the past of the Kalevalan people's Sword of Heroes? You helped the people of that world bring an end to war?
No, I did not. I am a weapon, and I only became the cause of more conflicts. Countless monarchs of Kalevala saw me as a symbol of kingship endowed by nature, and they waged wars in order to possess me. I grew tired of their wicked intentions. I didn't want to kill for anyone anymore. So I returned to the stone monument where my master was buried. And since then, no one was able to remove me from it.
But you allowed Argenti to take you away?
Because even after all this time, I still wanted my master to come home. During the sword-gifting ceremony, I felt anguish when I learned that I would be handed over to the most skilled swordmaster and once again become a tool for killing. My master had engraved his deepest desire into my blade. End war. As a weapon, my purpose was predetermined from the start. I had to become a deadly sword that would relentlessly hack and kill. But once I fulfilled my mission, would I have the right to choose my own destiny like he did? So, I asked the Knight of Beauty to help me break free from this never-ending cycle of bloodshed.
These thousands of years have naturally turned into memories of mine. I think I understand the beauty the knight was talking about now.
I don't want to be a sword that brings death. My war ended long ago. The years spent as a tombstone were my finest.
I've told you everything about my experience with Master Guyon on Kalevala. And now, I'm sure that Miss Yoon Lee is as moved by the sword's flawless beauty as I was back then.
Even though I had heard the legends of this sword from the delegation, delving into its memories was still fascinating. Yoon Lee, I trust Gu Yin's experiences have changed your mind.
It wasn't until I held Guyan in my hands that I could sense its thoughts and unspoken words. I always thought a cursed sword infused with a heliobus would only bring rage and slaughter. I never thought someone could leave behind the desire to end war, and even change the nature of the cursed sword. My position was too extreme. Guyan is truly a sword of heroes. I apologize to all of you for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Now that we've proven Miss Yoon Lee's innocence and found the sword, should we now return it to the arsenal?
No. I'm still going to melt down this sword. I've heard your true desires, Guyan. I can sense that you're tired of being a sword, constantly serving new masters and fighting battles you no longer want to be part of. Right?
But being a sword is my destiny. I'm doomed to serve some master and fight battles endlessly. Can the wind choose to stop blowing? Can a cloud choose to stop drifting? No. It's the same for me. A creation with a predetermined destiny.
That's not true, Guyan. That nameless swordmaster shaped his own destiny. So you can too.
I just can't picture my destiny being anything other than that of a sword.
Do you remember when you stood alone in front of the swordmaster's stone monument? People admired you because you carried the memories of the hero. You were no longer a sword. You were a memorial.
Later, as I became worn and weathered, the gentle wind would pass through the hollows of my body, creating melodic tones that echoed in the distant mountains. I became a musical instrument then. I miss those times.
Can a creation become what it wants to be? The answer is yes. I'll grant your wish, Guyan, and transform you into something different.
Something different?
But this is the price for the war dance. If the Kalevalan delegation finds out... Please, say something, General Huayan.
Well, my granddaughter has always been stubborn. Are you really sure about this, Yoon Lee?
What do you all think?
Fulfilling Master Guyan's wishes is the reason I came to the Xianzhou. With the driller's blessing, you could turn Master Guyan into a plow. But as long as it fulfills his wish to end war, I support it fully.
Then, I'll leave it to you, Yoon Lee.
It's been an honor getting to know you like this.
The honor is mine. Thank you, Yunli.
Why the long face, my child? Are you feeling regret, perhaps? You were completely determined when melting down the sword, so why the sudden change of heart?
Grandpa, I melted down the prize for the war dance. How are you going to explain this to the lawful?
Oh? Am I hearing right? This little girl is worried about her grandpa. Didn't see that coming.
If only I'd talked to you from the beginning, Grandpa. Maybe things wouldn't have escalated like this. But at least Guyan got what it wanted. I have no regrets there.
When it comes to swords, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. So, are you planning to continue melting down the rest of Hongguang's swords?
Yeah. Guyan is unique. But the other cursed swords are still too dangerous for anyone to handle. But maybe I'll try to be more patient next time.
Be more patient. Well said. Remember what you learned today, because there will be many more situations in the future that will require you to be more patient.
Understood. But what about the prize?
Well, ever since you showed up at the ceremony, I had a hunch. So I prepared another sword as a backup plan. And don't worry, this one has nothing to do with Heliobi.
That's perfect.
By the way, the ambassador from Kalevala and that knight went to Arum Alley. They're looking for a spot to honor the hero. Why don't we go take a look together?
Oh, General Huayan. What brings you here?
Well, my granddaughter was inspired by the heroic legends told by the Mieka Kivesa, so she dragged me here to take a look.
I come from a long line of Kalevalan monument keepers. For generations, my family has guarded the stone monument left behind by the nameless hero. Over the centuries, a golden tree sprouted from under the monument, and its branches have never withered. We Kalevalans see it as proof of the hero's existence. Before leaving Kalevala, I took a branch from that golden tree, hoping to plant it here to represent the hero returning to his homeland.
That sounds good. We Xianzhou people don't make coffins or set up memorials, so I'm sure he would be happy to rest here where life is bustling.
The hero had asked our ancestors to carve something into the monument, so I made a copy of it too. While the inscription is pretty worn with age, perhaps you can still make out some of it.
I have drifted far from my homeland and am on the brink of death. Yet, I take solace in having honorably fulfilled my duties. Should you feel compassion for me, kind traveler, please take a handful of soil hence and bring it back to the lawful. Mr. Pavo, I wonder if that hero ever left a name in your history.
I apologize, but the hero's epic battles happened long ago, and he did not leave any name for us to call him. But in our mythology, he came from the heavens and so we call him the Cloud Knight.
Welcome home, Cloud Knight.
Now, you can also rest here, Guyan.
I have delivered the missive about the meeting. Do you have any questions, Master Dan Heng?
I know all that I wish to know. Thank you, Miss Huanxi.
You need not address me as Miss. I am but one of Miss Bailu's maids. Then again, if I may be so bold as to make a humble request.
Go ahead.
Before this goes ahead... Oh, who might this be? I'm sorry, but Xianzhou's street lamps aren't in the habit of eavesdropping on conversations. I'm speaking with Master Dan Heng. I'm afraid this doesn't involve you.
She is a close friend. I've invited her along to bear witness. Please, treat her as you would me. Now, what was your request?
Then I hope you don't plan on meeting with Miss Bailu. Bailu is simple and innocent, incapable of ill intent. It's natural for a servant to care for her master and share in her worries. Please, hear what I have to say. I have good reason to be concerned. Perhaps you should know that Miss Bailu's path to becoming a High Elder was neither in compliance with proper protocol, nor of her own volition. Everything was a result of the stubbornness of her predecessor, Dan Feng. His hubris and tyranny brought about the end of the Luofu's High Elder succession. The Preceptors heard of Master Dan Heng's return, and were uncertain whether it constituted good or ill fortune. However, many have surmised that the Luofu's High Elder succession tradition will soon be back in force. If true, that is indeed something worth celebrating. Whether we find another suitable candidate in accordance with the laws of our people, or have you take up the position anew, everything can still be mended. But if Master Dan Heng were to hand everything over to Miss Bailu, it could lead to great upheavals on the horizon. No good would come of it for her. Miss Bailu is young, naive, and easily manipulated by others. I worry that under the pressure of others, she would be convinced into taking up too great a burden.
I understand your concern, but I have nothing more to say on the matter at present.
Then I will bid my farewell. Master Dan Heng, whether you choose to meet Miss Bailu or go with me to see the Preceptor Elders, I will be waiting for you by the ferry leading to Scale Gorge Waterscape.
I haven't even set eyes on Bailu, and people are already urging me not to meet her. You've been spending too much time with March. You know that I'm a descendant of the Lofu Vidyadhara. In Scale Gorge Waterscape, you witnessed my secret strength, as March would call it. Yet that power stems from Danfang, my previous incarnation. He altered the process of High Elder succession, plunging everything into catastrophe. Ultimately, he suffered the punishment of molting rebirth. Based on the physiological principles of Vidyadhara reincarnation, I ought to have been an entirely new entity. And, in view of the law, all crimes from my previous incarnation should have been wiped clean. But in reality, I was locked up in the shackling prison at birth. Even after I was released and left the Xianzhou, my High Elder past and Danfang's enemies pursued me like a haunting shadow. Now, I plan to face that shadow. In order to make amends, I want to repair the Ambrosial Arbor's seal and visit the High Elder to see what more I can do. The start skiff is ready. Let's go.